This video, I want to talk about the names of Fire Emblem games and why they're trash now, and this game started it. You know, should I be talking about this before? Should I be talking about this when Engage is the most recent game that I know of, and there may be a new Fire Emblem game announced?
Now that the battle
No,
lines have
I
been
probably
used.
shouldn't, but I will.
This one
And I'll
will
talk
be
about what
Hubert,
I think remakes
Count
should be
Burgess
called
will
as well
oversee
for
this force
all the
too.
candidates.
Ah, Professor, is something wrong? Sorry, I thought I had a bit more time before the council meeting. True, though ideally I'd like to hand off anything I can to my subordinates. But while we're on the front lines, I can't help but worry about every little thing. Now, let's see.
Pardon, Your Majesty. An urgent matter.
What's happened?
There is an army from Elmira at Fodlan's throat. Reports indicate it is of appreciable size. A steep mountain range runs along the border between Fodlan and Elmira.
This
That mountain
Paralogue
range is
being
called
the exact
Fodlan's
same as
Throat.
Hilda's is probably
The sturdy
why you
fortress
can't
built
recruit
within
Hilda
those
on this
mountains is
route,
called
by the way,
Fodlan's
YouTube.
Locket. It occupies the sole path through. The Church and the Alliance nobles built the locket to safeguard against Elmiran invasion.
Normally, House Goneril watches over the fortress.
I
In
know.
times of trouble,
Look
the
at
lords
my
join
hat's
together
off,
to
YouTube.
protect it.
My hair's short. I know, it's so weird.
I assume
I'm
it
not
would
wearing
be
a hat
too
because I'm trying to
difficult to
hide
defend
my
against
short
this
hair, YouTube. I
incursion
need to
with
clarify
only
that.
the troops of
I was
Goneril.
just recording a hat
The
for something else I was
situation
doing
has
today.
been precarious for House Goneril since
So
Holtz
I just
fell
didn't
ill.
take it off when I started recording the series. And with long hair, I can't wear hats because it gets all uncomfortable and sweaty. But with short hair, I can actually wear hats. I can't hear you, by the way, if you're talking, Seth. I don't have my headphones on. But with short hair, I can actually wear hats comfortably. So I've just been wearing a hat because I don't get to do that often. Because it actually doesn't feel awful. Anyways, headphones back on. Oh, I hit the
The
mic.
heir to House Goneril, renowned for his bravery. He is Hilda's elder brother.
Holst is a formidable commander. It's only logical that House Goneril would struggle in his absence. The alliance is shattered. They can't request soldiers from the surrounding lords. And the Imperial troops stationed there can't be relocated so easily. The best course of action is for us to go out there and deal with this ourselves. It's critical for us to protect that location. This is our chance to prove that we won't allow it to fall.
Yes, it is to the benefit of our future governance not to abandon it. It seems this must be done. Will you assist us?
We'll depart after you finish making preparations. Move swiftly. We must move before the Elmiran army crosses the throat.
Anyways, before we talk about modern games, first of all, I need to clarify, I don't hate all. I was mostly joking. One thing I love with Fire Emblem games is if you have two games that are really related to each other, with the exception of one continent, they have similar names. So we'll get into that. I think first of all, post Kaga, the Fire Emblem names are almost all brilliant. For this discussion, I'm mostly going to be excluding remakes. Since the next Fire Emblem game is most likely a remake anyways, that actually saves my skin, as it means I can talk about mainline games without having to worry about remakes, like a new game being announced. And that I don't know of as of recording, because it's probably a remake, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Since I have an extra army slot, I'm just going to pop in Lysithea because she's proper leveled. First of all, Shadow Dragon, the Blade of Life. I like this title, although Medius isn't the Shadow Dragon in FE1, is he? He becomes the Shadow Dragon when he's reborn in FE3, right? He's just an Earth Dragon and
Seems
Shadow
we
Dragon,
make
I
good
think,
time.
right?
Let's help the soldiers of House
So,
Goneril withdraw.
I don't
The
remember.
Black Eagle Strike
actually.
Force will protect Fodlan's locket.
Support! We're safe!
That just feels weird, the title. Fire Emblem Gaiden is a bad name. Obviously, they didn't want you to think that was like a sequel or anything to Fire Emblem 1.
And that flag belongs to the Imperial
And
Army.
Gaiden is a Japanese word for side story. So it's like Fire Emblem side
Break
story.
through
And
the
it's like,
locket and make a name for yourself. No need to be shy. Strike all at once.
sorry, it's just really sad
We
how
fight
many
to
Three
protect
Houses voice
Fodlan.
actors have
If
died
the
in
defensive
5
line
years.
is broken, we fail.
It's actually really sad. Sorry, I was just thinking because
Our enemies are many, but we can use the terrain to our advantage and stop them where they stand.
And I feel really bad because I don't remember the name of Nadir's voice actor. It's just sad that he died. And I'm actually I was trying to decide when I wanted to talk about it. But Seth, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Ferdinand's voice actor unfortunately passed away.
When did he pass?
2022 summer. He did the same thing that happened to Chadwick Boseman. He had cancer and he didn't reveal it to the public. So just one day, the news came out and Fire Emblem community wept. The Fire Emblem community isn't often united, but they were united in sorrow. Because Ferdinand is one of my favorite characters in this game. And a large part of that is because of Billy, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Billy, actually I will, Camden? I'll pull it up, actually, so I can actually say it properly, but a large part of the fandom, myself included, that loves Ferdinand, love it thanks to Billy Kamet's fantastic voice acting. Anyways, moving past the sorrow. Fire Emblem title. Gaiden's another bad name. Mystery of the Emblem. It's the best Kaga era name. Because literally the story of that game is literally finding out what is the Fire Emblem. And you learn about the mystery of the emblem. But I actually don't think that's a terrible name. I'm just going to keep most of my army here, bro. Genealogy of the Holy War. Absolutely adore the game. What an awful title. Like, obviously it's descriptive, like, of what the game's about. You got the Holy War, then you got different generations, genealogy being bloodlines. It's very accurate to the game is, but it's just a mouthful. And then Thracia 776. That's like naming a documentary of my life. Oh, that docks me. That's like naming a documentary of Queen Elizabeth. About a documentary about the death of Queen Elizabeth. United Kingdom 2022. See, isn't that a stupid name? Exactly. It's a dumbass name. You wouldn't name a documentary about the Queen of England and the late Queen of England and you could name it United Kingdom 2022. That's brain dead. So, bad name. Stupid. Actually, there's two exceptions for continents that have similar names. Yggdrasil and Arcanea. Anyways, moving on to the Lib games. Blazing Blade and Binding Blade. I said them in the wrong order. Suck it.
What's my strategy?
Binding Blade and Blazing Blade. I know a lot of people don't like how similar the names sound, but I personally love it. It makes it easy to get the names confused, so I wish they were a little bit more different. But I just like how similar they are. They're concise, they roll off the tongue. Very good names. I quite like their names. Sacred Stones is... It's another one of those titles that kind of just describes one of the main MacGuffins of the game. But I do think it does a good job because it's still a nice, brief title. It rolls off the tongue really well. Yes, this is some of the most you're ever going to hear me compliment Sacred Stones. It rolls off the tongue. It feels good to say. Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn are the pinnacle of naming in this franchise, and nothing will beat them. They do what the Lib games do, but better, name-wise. Very, very similar, both having the word Radiant, or some form of it. Radiance, Radiant. But they're still different enough that's harder, that you can't confuse them. Yet, they're still similar, which makes them feel related, and... I wish they had more to do with the game, is at least Blazing Blade, Binding Blade have more to do with the game. And then Radiant Dawn, Path of Radiance, but... Even then, I could argue that the titles are related. That Ike is on the path of Radiance, because let's look at the Google definition of Radiance.
Is that all?
Light or heat emitted is reflected by something.
My ambitions are within reach.
Path of Light. Just call it Path of Light, and that's a pretty cool sounding title. And since it's about like reclaiming a kingdom and defeating like the MacGuffin is a thing that can summon the dark god, Path of Light, I think fits quite well and is a good title. Then Radiant Dawn? Well, it's the dawn of the light, bro. The main character is the Light Maiden. And it's her dawn. Actually, technically it's the Dawn Maiden. Not the Radiant Maiden. But it's the light of the silver-haired maiden. Yeah. Shut up! Don't laugh at me. Awakening's a pretty good title, actually. It's a pretty good name.
I will prevail.
I love the simple one word. It relates to the plot with the whole thing being like awakening and all that. And it's a nice, smooth title. It feels good to say. It sounds good to the ears. Same with Fire Emblem Fates. So say what you will about Fates, but it has a sexy title. Not my favorite in the franchise, but it is sexy. And then Three Houses. Like, gee, thanks. That is the most basic-ass generic title possible. When you got the awesome Japanese and Chinese title of that essentially are the 4 seasons. I can't remember the order. Earth, Wind, Sun, Moon, or something like that.
Anything.
No, it's at Moon. Actually, I don't know the
Let's make this
Snow, Moon,
I do this for all
Wind,
of us.
Flower, or something like that. It's the 4 routes. Silver Snow, Azure Moon, Crimson Flower, Verdant Wind. It's the 4 route names. And then the limited edition is called the Seasons of Warfare, which I think is a good American version of the Asian name of the game. I really think they should have called this game the Seasons of Warfare. Especially since one of the big gimmicks in this game is the calendar system. I think that would have been a better name. And Fire Emblem Engage. When it was revealed and leaked, I said it was a stupid-ass title. I love Engage. And while I definitely don't think the title's as bad as I thought, it's not a good title. It's better than Three Houses. It's better than Genealogy. It's better than Thracia as far as titles go. But it's definitely on the weaker end. Like, obviously, it's named after the main gimmick of the game, which I think there's nothing wrong with. But I don't know. I just don't feel like it just doesn't feel right for a Fire Emblem name. And then again, I love Engage. It's one of my favorites in the franchise, but its name just don't feel right. And if I, a huge Engage defender, doesn't feel like it feels right, then maybe it's not the best title. Anyways, bonus rounds. Why does the new Mystery of the Emblem title suck? Because it's fucking New Mystery of the Emblem is the title of the game. That is the worst Fire Emblem title. Shadow Dragon's boring as frick as the title, but hey, at least it seems like a remake of the first game. And Shadows of Valentia is pretty good. So what do I think remake should be called? Well, hopefully by this point a Fire Emblem 4 remake's been revealed, and hopefully it has a good name. I don't want them to do the Shadows of Continent name again. That should be Valentia's name. But they should I also kind of would like it, as much as I love the, as much as I'm attached to the idea of calling a remake Light Inheritors, which was actually FE4's original name, I think Fire Emblem Echoes Light Inheritors would be a great name. But I'd love them to be able to do a name that connects with the Thracia remake. I'd love to do a name that connects. And I can't think of a name that connects with Light Inheritors. So I'm conflicted with that one, unfortunately. But I also can't think of a better title to name an FE4 remake besides Light Inheritors. I think it is a damn good title for the game. Because, you know, either you gotta name it like Light Inheritors or something, or you gotta have Holy War in the title. Those are your options. I do not think the continent name of Yggdrasil should be in the name. I think that would be a mistake. The Thracia remake, I mean, it's not really canon, but I guess I could go over it. I actually don't have any. I guess that's why they named the game Thracia 776. I have no alternative names. You know what? I actually don't have names for any remakes besides, ironically, FE1 and 3. Just call them the War of Heroes and the War of Shadows, or something similar.
They call you undefeated. Oh, but you've already suffered one defeat, have you not? And on this day, victory will again be ours.
The once defeated isn't quite as exciting, is it? I'll just have to claim this victory here to wipe away the shame of defeat.
Yeah, none of the Levi's
How
could
far
save
I
you.
go. Unbelievable. What a scary woman. I dare. Impossible. Everyone
All I
withdraw!
had to do was defeat him.
Run!
No matter how many times you attack, we will never allow you to capture the throat. The Almiran troops are difficult opponents. For now, I would much rather focus on Fodlan's internal territories. I hope they don't mount another attack anytime soon. The Almiran army retreated. Their casualties were numerous. As I understand it, they won't be attempting another invasion anytime soon. Still, we must prepare the local troops before their enemy returns. That is my hope. I would even consider a treaty. Unlike Fodlan, Almira is not a land ruled by blind fealty to the goddess. I believe we need only to communicate openly with them and respect the differences between our cultures. If we do that, we should be able to have a meaningful dialogue with them, one more promising than what we can expect from followers of the goddess. Ah, Hubert, what did Duke Goneril say?
He expresses his sincere gratitude to Lady Edelgard. In addition, he would like to leave the protection of the throat to Imperial troops from now on.
Is that so? How reasonable of him. By the way, what was it that ailed Holst?
I did not hear all the details, but apparently he ate some bad mushrooms. It is said he is now emaciated and pale, and his skin exudes a mysterious vapor.
Huh. I can't help but imagine what that must look like. But it's probably better not to think about it.
Agreed. Do not worry yourself with such thoughts.
Controller fell on the floor.
Indeed.
No,
Well, then maybe you should pay a visit.
this is what happens when you use your feet to pick things up. I'm not gonna pick it up with my feet this time. I'm gonna hold it in place and grab it with my hands. Whoopsie.
And then you could tell me what it looked like.
I hope I didn't damage my controller. That kind of suck. I do not care about your birthday, Lysethia. First of all, we still have class changes to do that I completely forgot about. I don't know how many we have. Not you. Not you. Not you. Right? Oh, yes, you! How silly. Bruh. What an L moment. L plus ratioed.
I've heard some rumors that Johnny Depp is going to be playing a live-action Jack Skellington.
No! I swear to God. I guess I should be prioritizing trying to get people promoted that don't already have mounts. Bruh!
I don't think it's true, though.
Better not be. I swear to God, that casting would kill me. $69%. Bro, none of them passed. None of them passed. I'm literally going to die. Wait, what? Are you really, Ferdinand? You can't. Bruh. Please, one person. One person. No one passed! I am going to have a stroke. Okay, any supports where I still have to get another in?
Lord Yuritsa? I believe he used to be a professor at the Officers' Academy. It was also my understanding that he was personally recommended by Lord Arundel himself, landing him a position as a sword instructor.
Whatever the case is, behind that mask of death, there's an emptiness, a void. This is probably just a rumor, but I heard he was found and taken in by Her Majesty herself. Supposedly, he's the heir of the Hrim family, but I also heard he's only a distant relative who was adopted. He sure is mysterious.
You've been asking around about me. It matters not to me one way or the other. Do you want to know of my past? Why? Friend or foe, that's what you're trying to determine. But you won't find answers merely with words. There is only one path forward. Raise your sword if you have the nerve. Raise it and fight me. If you want to know my heart, know my sword.
Not a fan of bloodshed.
It's only to spar. Nobody will be slain. I cannot kill you yet. The Death Knight knows that very well. I've been told to refrain from killing you until the war has ended.
Just said the Death Knight.
The Emperor. The young Emperor discovered me long ago. Though back then, she was still a princess. Ultimately, it was she who erased my past. She placed me into a family that was disintegrating, that I might be their heir. Indeed, my past. My crimes for killing a useless man and his kin. To survive, the Death Knight must spill blood. Left to his own devices, he would kill innocent passers-by. Through the Emperor's grace, he was allowed hunting grounds. That is why, to this day, I follow her. I am not yet ready to yield such fertile hunting grounds. Nor am I ready to truly fight you. Of course, were I not here to hold him back, he would cut you down without hesitation. As for me, I too... never mind. If you've no intention of fighting, then be gone. Perhaps it is he who is to blame, but I feel oddly when I look at you.
It's strange. I never thought you and I would be able to sit together and drink tea like this.
Drink tea, you say? But that does not smell like tea. The aroma. Would that be coffee by any chance? Imported from Dagda, I believe. I do not care for it myself.
Your knowledge is impressive. Although I should expect nothing less from a noble, I suppose. Lady Edelgard surpasses you in nearly every respect. But I think when it comes to positivity, you may actually exceed her.
Excuse me?
In a way, it is merely a mask for your tactlessness. But even so, your relentless optimism, well, suffice it to say that it is your best quality.
What?
You are constantly striving to grow as a person, to seek new knowledge, to push new limits. When others might get distracted or abandon their path, you never yield. In that aspect, at least, I think you are unmatched.
Hubert, are you alright? Do you have a cold?
Are you
Or a
alright?
plague? Am I hearing a
This is
deathbed
not like
confession?
you, Hubert.
It was only a
Complimenting
compliment.
people?
There's no need for such dramatic exaggeration.
Dramatic, you say?
I do my best to analyze others without emotion. Even if I find you to be a contemptible degenerate, I can still evaluate your abilities in an impartial way.
So, because you assess people without emotion, you are totally confident in your appraisals. It seems I was wrong about you.
You actually understand.
Please, do not compliment me again, though. I find it quite unsettling. It is like hearing a snake sing an aria. At least put it in a letter next time.
In the very unlikely event that there is a next time, I promise to put it in writing.
Okay. I think that should be all the supports I have to do. Wait. Oh, yeah, that one. Actually, I think Yup. More Yuritsa ones.
Yuritsa?
What?
I've got it all figured out.
Hmm?
Your true identity. If my detective skills are correct, then you are the Death Knight, right?
Everyone already knows that.
What? Everyone knows? But how? Oh, and here I thought that I'd uncover your big spooky secret. Bernie, you're such a shut-in that you missed the biggest news in town. So, here's the deal, Yuritsa. You've got to tell me a secret about you that nobody else knows.
Why?
Because I sleuthed for hours upon hours. That's got to be rewarded.
Just stop.
Oh, come on. Please? Oh, I know. I've got it. Why do you wear that crazy-looking armor when you're pretending to be the Death Knight? Are you just into the look of it? You like spooky stuff?
Well, I may have been drawn to that aspect. To look sinister. To embody death.
Oh, I see. I thought maybe you put on that mask and armor because, just like old Bernie, you don't like talking to people.
There may be some truth to that. Talking to people is intolerable.
Oh, yeah? I think I'm sensing a real kinship between us. So, with that whole spooky getup on, it allowed you to speak to people with confidence.
No.
Oh, hey, Yuritsa. Don't tell anyone about this, okay? This is our little secret.
I don't mind, but I also don't understand.
Bernadetta.
No, I think I agree with Yuritsa on that one. I also don't understand.
Bernadetta's confusing.
Did you send for me, Emil?
Stop gossiping about me.
Gossiping? About you? Oh, you wound me, Emil. So what if your name falls from my lips now and then?
If you speak of my past, there will be consequences.
I am aware. I have been silent regarding you secretly being of House Bartels. No, when I speak of you, I bandy gentler truths, such as your fondness for kittens and ice cream. All the silly little details that make you seem human.
Those details are nobody's business but mine.
Oh, Emil, do you have any notion what the rank and file say about you?
No.
They use words like unapproachable, menacing, and inscrutable. Regardless of your skill with a blade, fighting a war as if it were a long series of duels will end in death. And that is why I do what I can to ingratiate you with the soldiers you lead. No thanks necessary.
I see you are still unhappy with me.
Whatever do you mean?
The battlefield is solitary in the end. I've no interest in camaraderie with soldiers.
Are you implying that in combat, you are an utterly matchless warrior? That you can vanquish any foe single-handedly? That you need no cohort supporting you? How perfectly presumptuous! Even I can admit my reliance upon others. While you fight, who stands beside you to gauge the tide of battle? Who eliminates the archers aiming for you? Who heals whatever injuries you might sustain? These are questions you should be asking yourself, Emil. I ask them for you because we are old friends.
Always quick to cut to the heart of the matter.
Just as you are ever an ache in my side.
Whatever. But there is a truth in your words. However, it is not up for discussion. Stop gossiping about me.
I shall consider it.
Oh, we're just gonna go in a random order for supports to YouTube.
Ah, is there something I can do for you, Constance?
Is there something you can do? Of course there is.
Well, what is it?
Like in the olden days, there's like this
It ought to
challenge
be
where
plain.
you'd watch a movie, then you'd have to watch another movie
I
that had one of
do
the
not
same
follow
actors. So
that.
that's what we're gonna do.
Please,
So we did
clarify what you mean.
Eureka
Have you forgotten
with
the day
Bernie,
I
then we did
revealed to you
Eureka
my
Constance,
silly little
Constance Ferdinand. I
dream?
said, oh, we'll do a support
If
with
you weren't paying
Ferdinand after
attention,
this.
I shall be cross.
Oh, yes. You must be referring to the oblique request you made
Until we get a
concerning
dead end.
peaks and valleys. Not seeing a peak ahead of you, you hoped I might help lift you out of your lowly
Precisely. You've summed it up completely. Now that you know of what I speak, I want you to forget it immediately. Act as if you heard nothing.
You want me to forget the occasion you just asked me to remember. I see. Before I discard this memory entirely, might I be so bold as to ask why?
Is it not obvious? I don't want my weakness bandied about. I vowed to restore House Nouvelle through my own grand achievement. Just as I would not abandon this dream, I would not accept it being handed to me. Though if I am to be quite honest, the real reason is that letting you in on this vulnerability was an indiscretion I won't repeat.
I see. What a curious situation.
I don't take your meaning.
5 years ago, with the cladding of my highborn status stripped away, I was vulnerable and exposed. To borrow your words, I was in a valley, and a thick shroud of fog obscured the peak before me. Now, the cloud has lifted a bit, and I can see a glimpse of what lies ahead.
And what, dare I ask, do you see?
There is a towering cliff for you to scale, and a long, rocky path lying ahead of me. Rather than ascending separately, we can join hands and face these obstacles together. Then, we can reach the heights of our forebears. Or, dare I say, even higher.
Even higher, you say? Now you remind me once more of the boy I knew. I have but one concern.
And what might that be?
That I shall outpace your laggardly efforts.
Huh? I was being sincere, you know.
Now we'll do a Ferdinand support. We'll do Ferdinand. Yeah, Ferdinand Petra.
Ferdinand.
Huh? Ah, Petra. Is there something I can help you with?
No, I am not needing help. I was just thinking that you look lonely.
Lonely? In wartime? Hardly. I am too busy trying to survive to feel lonely. But once we have survived, what will you do with yourself, Petra? Return to your home? Edelgard said she would like you to ascend the throne in Brigid, to ensure good relations between the nations.
Yes, my plan is to be returning home. But if Brigid and Fodlan can be friendly, I will be able to have visits whenever I choose. Maybe it is even possible for me to be living in Fodlan.
Live in Fodlan? Do you not want to go back to your homeland?
I do have the hope of returning one day, but Fodlan is also like a homeland to me now. I came to Fodlan 9 years ago. I have been living half of my life here. My family is living in Brigid, but in Fodlan, I have new family and new friends.
New family? I am glad to hear you feel that way about us, Petra. In that case, we will have to make sure that none of us die. We do not want to lose anyone in the family.
Yes, we will be winning, and you will not be dying.
Ha! Do not worry. I do not intend to die. I have some things to do when the war is over.
Things?
Yes. You and I can be the link between Fodlan and Bridget.
Oh.
Okay, I have to confess. I fibbed a little. About not being lonely. When this war ends, I will be quite lonely indeed. If you go back to Bridget.
Is that a truth?
I have just made a decision. I will work as an ambassador, improving relations between our people. Whether you are in Bridget or Fodlan, I will be there too. Then both places can move forward together in eternal friendship. We ought to join forces and make that a reality. Do you not agree?
You have my gratitude, Ferdinand. All of it. I have loneliness just like you. But your words gave me great happiness. Please do what you are saying, and be a bridge for Fodlan and Bridget.
You can count on me. We will keep at it, and one day...
Yes, one day, we will be seeing that future. I have been watching you in secrecy, Edelgard. But you and Hubert were noticing me, correct?
Well, if you intend to shadow us like that, you can be sure it won't escape our notice. Hubert was primed and ready to remove you. I ordered him to stand down.
You have my thanks. I have been making a decision that I am wanting to learn from you. I was thinking it was enough to be shooting one bird with one arrow. But after speaking with you, I trained with hardness. Now I can be shooting 2 birds with 1 arrow.
2 pheasants? Are you implying that...
Yes, a single arrow.
That's astounding, Petra. It's perhaps a bit late to explain now, but what I was getting at earlier was actually...
I am having a joke.
You... come again?
I really was shooting these birds with 1 arrow, but my joke is that I did have understanding about what you told me. I took it to my heart.
Did you know?
You are a person with great bluntness. I am admiring of you. As an emperor, a commander, a warrior, and a friend, you are excelling at all that you do. All of the Empire is resting on your shoulders, and that is including Bridget, too. I will not be falling behind you. I will be carrying Bridget on my shoulders, too. And one day, you and I will be facing each other, and we will be shaking hands.
Yes, that much is certain. I can see that you no longer need me to look out for you. You and I are much the same. We dutifully shoulder our burdens and stand tall no matter what. It would be foolish of me to deny it.
Your words give me great joy. And it also gave me joy to see you being flustered when I was showing you the birds.
A cheap trick, to be sure, but inarguably funny. To think that you went to all the trouble of shooting 2 pheasants at once for the sake of a joke. Well played, Petra.
We both are growing every day. I hope we will keep doing so.
Boom, let's get the big boy support.
Yes? Oh, it's you, Professor. I was certain it was Hubert coming to drag me back to my duties. Your Majesty, you must know your supreme talents are needed at present. Why not gaze at these documents instead of the sky? Doesn't it? And the worst part is that he's always right, so I can't even argue with him. But that's enough about Hubert for the moment. While I have your attention, I'd like to thank you for your help in that last battle. As you well know, I'm perfectly capable of commanding the army by myself. However, when you're around, it's somehow different. I'm not sure I can properly explain it. I suppose your perspective on the battlefield is simply sharper than mine. When you're devising tactics and tricks for us, it's almost as though you can read the enemy's mind. There's no getting around it. Your talent for strategy far exceeds my own. I'm quite jealous, in all honesty. Is that a fact? Well, if you insist. I suppose a flower from another's field is always more beautiful. I'll admit, I think of you as rather detached, so to hear that you have emotions such as jealousy is something of a relief. Oh, but you are. Don't even try to argue. But I suppose I'm much the same. I've also distanced myself from the ordinary world. Friends. That word somehow doesn't seem adequate. Besides, we've been friends for a long time, you and I. By now, we're so much more than that, at least in my mind. You know, instead of Edelgard, you can call me just Elle, if you so please. That's what my parents and closest sisters used to call me when I was little. Now there's no one left who calls me Elle. But with you, well, I think I could allow it. In fact, it would mean a great deal to me. Why? Well, you have stood beside me and shared my burdens. As I said, you are much more than a friend. In truth, you are like family to me. I suppose that's why.
Let's go to Linhart next.
Ah, yes. Professor, what brings you out so late? Oh, that was likely my voice. I've been worrying about something. I asked you once to help me achieve my goal of being a person who can simply nap all day. Then I thought, if the world becomes a peaceful place, all my crest research might be for naught. Well, I don't see how crests have much use in times of peace. Certainly there are crests that make you stronger and could be used in engineering. And I suppose crests that increase magical abilities might help doctors heal injuries. Still, the possibilities seem limited. It's as if crests were designed to be used only in times of war. Their power meant to bring about death and destruction. I cannot prove what I say is true, but suppose for a moment that it is. The longer this war goes on, the more useful my crest research becomes. But if the war were to end today, we would go on living, perhaps not using the power of our crests at all. It is truly my dream to be a crest scholar, but I also dream of all the wonderful naps peace would bring. Saying it all out loud, it feels a rather stupid thing to worry over. Knowledge or peace, sleep or war. Thank you, Professor. I appreciate the sentiment. Although if I stop researching crests, I'll have one less excuse to spend time with you. Professor, don't make faces like that. People like you, who listen to my blathering and then nod and smile as though what I say matters, people like you are very precious to me.
Then let's go to Dorothea, because we haven't done Dorothea yet this video.
Ah, here you are.
What's up, Lynn? Come to
Then we'll do
invite me to dinner?
Felix.
Well, that too.
And then back to
but
Bernadetta.
First, there is something I wish to say. I believe I previously implied that it's okay to live out your days.
If you
by
haven't
running
noticed, YouTube,
away
we're
from
actually
what
going to get a
troubles
good
you.
lot of the
And I think that I was unkind to you.
supports on this video. There probably won't
What
be
are
a
you
ton
talking
next
about?
video, but there'll probably be a bunch after chapter
To
17.
be honest, while I try to be easygoing, I currently feel a bit
By a bunch, I
uneasy
mean
about
literally
something.
the rest of them I have
One of the
to.
effects of running away constantly is that eventually one runs out of places to, well, run. Because I avoid
There's
memories I
only
find
3 more
unpleasant,
videos of
the
this
number of things
round.
I avoid is forever increasing.
Oh my
I've
god.
never had to deal with the pain of my past, so I can never increase my tolerance toward new pains.
And?
That's all. But there are some nights.
Yeah, I'm in my
when it
hat
really
phase of
worries me.
recording this series, YouTube. I'll probably wear a
That's what you
different
wanted
hat
to say?
next video
It'd be
too.
the same if you were into
I'm my
hiding
hat
things.
phase finally.
You'd just be up at night wondering what
Now
was
that I
coming
got
next.
hair that actually allows
Thank
you to wear
you,
hats
Lynn.
comfortably.
I appreciate you showing me a glimpse of your real self for the first time.
For the first time? Each time I speak, I show my real self.
So, what about that conversation we
For
had?
the sake of not
Which
hiding my
conversation?
hair. There.
When
can
you
see it
said I
more,
was
it
a
looks
great
good.
woman. Was that true?
Especially
Of
with headphones
course.
on, it looks
You
really
have too
good.
low an opinion of yourself.
I thought you were just trying to make me feel better. I didn't really think you looked at me that way, Lynn.
Why? Is it so strange? You seemed rather happy
I
about it
tried to
at the
shake my
time.
hair, YouTube. I can't do that.
It's not weird. Okay, it's kind of weird. You're weird, Lynn. You know, I'm hungry all of a sudden. Maybe I laughed too much.
Good. I was going to invite you to dinner.
You were?
When I walked in, you asked if I'd come to invite you to dinner. I said yes, but I can't be bothered to walk into town. Shall we visit the dining hall?
What? Oh, fine. Show me this easygoing way of yours.
I could do the Dorothea Felix one, but that is quite literally a dead end, so I'm not going to. Oh, that's right. Felix is a two-parter.
So, Felix, is the tea to your liking?
It is.
Manners?
It's nice to relax like this every now and then, isn't it?
It is.
Oh my god.
You said some of your equipment is damaged.
He's using manners.
It is.
Are you not in the mood to talk? We could discuss your family or what's happening in high society.
He's
Flavors of
trying
tea?
not to be
Your
mean.
favorite jokes?
None of those. I already told you, I don't joke.
Of course, only cynicism. Oh, I know. We're holding a small opera in the cathedral soon.
I'd
I'll
stop
be
talking.
singing too. If you're interested in... but of course you aren't.
You can sing?
I'm sorry.
That
What
was
did you
a
just say?
backhanded compliment.
No,
Can I
it wasn't.
sing?
That was him asking a
I was
question.
only a diva
I
of the
think.
Middlefront Opera Company.
Remember,
that's all.
we know he likes singing to some
right.
degree
I forgot.
because of Annette.
You forgot. Am I that uninteresting to you?
Uh-oh.
What must you think of me?
You're insincere and loud, is what I think. But you do make a good sparring partner. And a good tea companion.
Oh,
Anyway, when's the concert?
Oh!
it's an opera, and you don't have to come.
You just invited me. You can't tell me not to come. That's for me to decide.
Then you must be there. I'll sing my heart out just for you.
I haven't said I'll go.
Are you going
You
to
kind of
come
just
over?
did.
If you
No,
can
he
tease me, I
said
might just
that you
pretend to
have
play.
to, that he still has to be
Fine, I'll go.
invited.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
See, I have the ability, you have the ability to force paired endings, and I am hands down forcing that one. I gotta know that paired ending. That is one of my favorite support chains in the game. I don't remember ever seeing it before either, but it's so good. Oh my god. I'm not a support guy, but I'm loving the Felix. Felix has my favorite supports in this game. Hands down.
Felix, can I talk to you for a minute?
What is it? I'm listening.
I actually like this one as well. Maybe I'll actually do, I don't know. I want to support both of them.
Cute kitty.
Have him, no, well, as
Oh,
not as support.
I
I want to
agree.
have him paired
I
ending.
don't dislike cats.
Here,
You like
try
something?
This. It's candy, but I promise it isn't sweet.
No, thank you. Sweet or not, I don't eat candy.
Hey, are you busy? I've got this great
He doesn't
book
read books.
What are you doing?
Huh?
Why are you so concerned with me? More importantly, didn't you used to be shy?
Oh, I'm as shy as ever.
Then why are you following me around?
That's, well, you know how ghosts are only scary because you can't see or talk to them?
You're saying I'm a ghost.
What? No, it was just a metaphor.
There you are, foolish as ever.
That's it. You're smiling again.
What?
That's why I've been working so hard to talk to you. I wanted to see you smile again.
I'm disappointed. Such a trivial reason. You're pestering me without a hint of fear just to see me smile.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna force I'm not gonna force a paired ending on Felix.
Why are you being nice?
Because it could. I don't
terrible
know.
happen?
I hope he gets one with one of those
Did you
two.
have a falling out with an old friend or something?
I'll have to do heads or tails because I'd want to see his paired ending with both
This is
of
the
them.
part where you get angry at me, isn't it?
Come on. You were saying something about a book I should read?
Really? Well, it's, this one, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't. I thought I was about to be like, oh no, I dead ended myself with my challenge of hopping one to the other to the other. No, back to Bernadetta. And then back to Hubert.
A summons from Bernadetta? How historic.
I've got something to give you.
There is a list of possibilities.
Do you? What is it?
Okay.
A token of apology for all the rude stuff I've said. It's only right. I hope this will help you let go of all the grudges you're probably holding against me.
There are no grudges, but very well. I'll accept it.
You will? Great! Here you go.
Some kind of embroidery. A flower. This is certainly lovely, but why give it to me? It seems like something you would send to a female friend or someone you had romantic feelings for.
But it's, lovely, you said, right? That's why. If you wear it, maybe you'll look less, terrifying.
You would like me to wear this?
You hate it, don't you? I knew it. I knew you'd be angry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Why not? Do I put it here? It really is quite nice. I cannot say that it suits me, but...
No, it does. It looks great on you.
Okay, I just read the paired ending between Felix and Bernadette and Crimson Flower, and I'm definitely not doing it. I actually don't like it.
Laughing at me, but it is preferable at least.
I don't actually like the one for Azure Moon either.
I will wear this when I'm around you.
His best paired ending is.
Really? You will?
Oh, actually, I want to read his one.
So glad.
I'm pretty sure we had his
You're
one
sure?
with Sylvain in the playthrough, but I can't remember.
If
It's
you're
a
going
good
to
one.
question me about it, perhaps I'll change my mind.
No. I believe you. You're a lot
I
less
love
scary with it on.
Felix's paired ending though with Dimitri.
That is what's
It's my
most
favorite paired
important.
ending in the franchise.
Now I suppose it is safe for me to return to my usual strict methods.
No, I'm not ready.
This again.
Okay, I did read the Felix Dorothea paired ending. I'm not going to read the other routes one since I'm going to force it. And yeah, no, I like that pairing quite a bit, actually. It's a really good pairing, actually. So, yeah. I'll let you decide, Seth. There are four options. Which one should we go to?
Which ones are the options again?
All the ones with the blue. So, Byleth, Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra.
Let's do Petra.
This is a fun way of doing supports. This makes it a lot more engaging because it gets you different characters than just going all the Byleth ones, all the Edelgard ones. We'll be doing this all throughout Verdant Wind.
Hubert, I have a request to give you, if I may be doing that.
Hello, Petra. How unusually formal.
You are always comparing me against Edelgard. I have been observing you, and you are not often making comparisons like that. So why are you always comparing me? I do not enjoy being compared.
An astute observation. I should point out that such a comparison only reflects well on you. I am perhaps doing so because you are both royalty.
That is not making sense to me. In battle, you and I are the same. Neither of us has a higher rank than general. Edelgard is leading the entire army. But you and I are both leading a part of the army. That should be making us... what is it? Comrades in arms.
Comrades in arms, you say?
When you are looking at me, you are thinking of me compared to Edelgard. But I want you to be looking at me as only myself. Do you have understanding? I do not want you seeing me as foreign royalty, but as your comrade in arms, who is working with you at your side.
I understand you now. It seems I've done you a great disservice, Petra. Your friendship is important to me. I am sorry that I failed to make that clear. By comparing you to Lady Edelgard, I have treated you merely as one chasing after her shadow. I have done so even while believing that the Empire and Bridget would never go to war again.
Do you really think you can stop comparing? I am knowing well that Edelgard takes a big place inside your heart.
I do not fully understand it. But when I look at you, I simply cannot help but think of Her Majesty. Your past, full of hardship, your unwavering determination, your uncommon excellence. As such, I cannot promise never to compare you. But I will try my best to do so less often.
For now, that will be okay. But I will not be giving up on this. And I want you knowing that one day, when you are comparing, you will be finding I have won the comparison.
What an amusing thing to say. Lady Edelgard's face would contort most bitterly were she to hear it.
Be marking my words, Hubert. One day, between the two of us, you will be choosing me.
Oh, whoa, Petra only has 2 more supports. I think I'd rather do a Dorothea support than a Linhardt one.
Oh, Petra, are you researching something?
Yes, I am investigating useful fighting techniques.
You're always trying to become a better fighter. Personally, I'm sick of all the battles.
You are feeling sick about battle? Oh, I understand. Yes, I am also wishing for this war to finish quickly.
Sooner the better. I don't even remember the last time I washed my hair.
Yes, it is hard to be braiding your hair when it is damaged from lack of care.
Speaking of, you know, I don't think I've seen many braids like yours, Petra. I assume it's a hairstyle from Bridget? May I take a closer look?
You may. This style of braiding has been passed down through my family.
How very elaborate. That must take a long time to do.
Your words are delighting me. Braiding it does take up a great amount of time every day.
Every day? Now I suppose you couldn't sleep with your hair like that, could you? When there's time, do you think you could teach me? It would be fun to match you every now and then. And once I learn how, I can help you with your hair. What do you think?
I am really liking that idea. It would give me great happiness to have our hair match.
I'd like it too.
Dorothea, before I had confusion. I thought you were being overly familiar, but then I gained understanding. Now I am knowing that is how you show your kindness, and I have much gratitude for that. It is impossible to be imagining life without you. You are precious to me.
Petra, what a lovely thing to say. I might just cry.
If you will be crying, you can have my... my shoulder. For your crying.
Oh, I was just playing around. But If I ever do need a good cry, I do hope you'll lend me your shoulder.
My shoulder will always be available for you.
Oh, yeah? So I don't even need to make a reservation or anything?
A reservation? For my shoulder?
Oh, I just meant... You know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is that I enjoy spending time with you. It makes me stop worrying about marriage and status.
If that is the truth, then will you be coming to Bridget with me?
Huh?
When this war is finished, I am wishing for you to be seeing my homeland.
You are? Oh my. I'd love to, Petra. As soon as the fighting is done, I'd like nothing more than to see Bridget with you.
No, wrong person. You know what? Let's go to a dead end.
Why am I so unlucky with women lately?
Oh, Sylvain, what's that face for? Have you been dumped again?
Isn't there an unwritten rule you shouldn't ask someone that?
I'm sorry. I thought you didn't mind being dumped. So your love life can get you down sometimes after all. Who knew?
I'm sad every time I break up with someone. It's just, I usually try to be the one doing the breaking up. I've never had a hard time with girls. Ever. Not until recently. But now when I think about it, I wonder what any of them even liked about me. It's not as if any of them knew much about me. I don't get it.
Isn't that what a relationship is for? Learning about someone else? You can't know it all right at the start.
I asked you before if you would have invited me out if I was a peasant.
You did ask me that, yes.
That was wrong of me to say. It's not an excuse, but I'm always so suspicious. I'm a nobleman with a crest. The marriage proposals don't stop coming. Everybody wants me. Except, they don't actually want me at all. They want my bloodline. Within my family and without. It's always the same story. Sometimes I think that if I didn't have a crest, no one would look at me twice.
I see. And you're probably not wrong. Honestly, I've had those same sort of thoughts myself.
Oh? What sort of thoughts might those be?
I sang, people cheered and applauded, and when I walked off stage, I'd find the same thing every night. A mountain of presents and marriage proposals. But none of those people knew me. All they knew was the singer they saw on the stage. All they wanted was my looks and my voice. None of them even tried to get to know the real me.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this somewhere.
We may come from different places, but we're much the same, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I suppose we are. Look, Dorothea, I've realized something. Even if you were an old grandma, I'd still flirt with you. And I'd absolutely win you over. Though, I'd much rather win you over now, and be with you until you become an old grandma.
That might be the most legitimately romantic thing you've ever said, Sylvain.
Too bad I'm pairing her up
And
with
I can't say I
Felix, so
disagree.
get
I'd
cock
rather you win
blocked
me
by
over now,
Alex.
too, so that I can stay by your side until you're an old grandpa.
Well, before any of that, will you go to dinner with me?
I'd be happy to.
We'll pair those two up in Silver Snow, YouTube. That's what we're probably gonna do. We'll pair them up in Silver Snow. Oh no, I hit them. Another thing I did with my controller, jeez. How many more do we have just in the game? Oh my god, that's a lot of supports. There's still a lot of supports, YouTube. Anyways, I actually do think I'm going to end it out for now, YouTube. So, what can I say except see you next time. Goodbye.